Today's date is August 17, 2024. We have a young man here named Ron Reisinger, and we're going to interview him and some of his memorabilia. Here to the left, you see he's got Parachute Man. There he is, little handsome guy there. And we've got him, and we're going to talk to him. He's going to tell us about where he's born, military experiences, and then go from there. Ron, what day were you born and where were you born?
Born here in Evansville above Franklin Drug Store.
What year?
1939, May.
So how old are you now?
85.
So you're 85, above Franklin Drug Store. That is got an upstairs to it now too. It's the second floor, does it not?
Yeah, I don't know what's down there now.
Yeah. And so you were born at home, not at the hospital.
I was born right there.
And then where'd you go to grade school and high school?
Went to grade school at St. Boniface. Went to high school at Modern Day and Memorial. Both graduated from Memorial.
Yeah.
You know.
So Father Bosnoggle, Father Will was your priest at St. Boniface.
Mm-hmm.
He was a pastor there till 65. He's my wife's uncle. They call him Father Will. He's pretty tough.
I think it was all tough back there.
They didn't give you a break, so you had to go to confession all the time. All right, so then you graduated Memorial. Modern Day opened 51, so you did a little bit there, and then I guess your family
one
moved.
year, and Dad decided to move to East Side.
And he moved. He became an East Sider.
Yeah, so I spent 3 years at Memorial.
Did you? Yeah. What year did you graduate Memorial?
57.
57. Okay. So you heard of Jerry Browning. He was the best football player Modern Day had. He run over everybody. He was a tough dude.
He didn't leave a phone in here, did he?
He was a very tough dude. He beat Wrights in 57, 58, and Wrights never got beat. They beat 13 or 12 to 7 or something like that. They never got beat. Herman Byers was mad, but Jerry Browning was the best.
All mad.
Everybody's mad. Modern Day couldn't beat anybody, but boy, they won that year.
That just tickled everybody too.
My name's Browning. I played for Memorial, and Gene Loble looked at me and says, "I don't think you're related to that Browning because I wasn't any good." I mean, but Jerry Browning was the best. He's the best athlete Modern Day's probably ever had. He golf, or baseball, football, everything. Okay, so then you
like Mattingly.
well, like Mattingly, yeah. There was a Jerry Mattingly and Rex Mundy in the '60s, and Donnie Mattingly in '79. He probably had 2010.
Trying to think of the daggone guy that was from Memorial, played for the Cardinals. Football.
Yeah, that was at 57. That was Stallings. His name was Stallings, and he was Jerry Brown's class. And they had a head-to-head at Wright's Bowl, and Stallings looked the sidelines and was knocked out for about a whole half.
Almost.
A whole half. But Memorial, I think, beat Modern Day that day, but it was close. It was.
It was a close game. I know. You know.
Stallings was there, and that was their magical team. They had Merkel and Stallings, they had Henning, they had a lot of people. You probably classmates of yours or 1 year above you. So then you got out of Memorial at what year? 57? So then, what did you go to the Army then, or what did you do?
Went straight to the Army.
And where did you enlist? Downtown at the post office?
I don't remember.
On the west side, where the West Side Hospital was? You don't remember?
I don't remember where it was.
Where'd they do your physics?
They sent me to Leonardwood.
Fort Leonard Wood. So you're Army.
Yeah.
Fort Leonard Wood, that's in Kansas City, or
No.
Kansas.
I guess it is.
Kansas.
Hell, I don't know.
And then you had boot camp for 8 weeks,
Yeah.
and that beat you up.
Like killed me, I thought. You
Did you lose some weight?
a little bit, not a whole lot, you know. And,
Then after Leonard Wood, where'd you go from there?
well, they come here at Leonardwood the last week, you know, and said if you sign up for Airborne, you make $55 more. And I said, sign me up. You know, I was after the money.
Yeah. So how many parachute? You're airborne. So the 101st Airborne came out of Fort Combo. They were some of called the toughest guys in World War II. So airborne stuff because you jump out of an airplane. And how many jumps you had?
Well, by the time I got out of service, I had over 100.
Are your knees and backs and hip all right, or are they messed up? Didn't mess up. So you'd fall down and roll, and you knew how to
Oh,
jump
yeah.
pretty well.
You know how to. Well, I learned too to be a parachute rigger.
Oh, so you rigged them too.
Yeah.
So you knew how to do that. You dressed your own rig then, because
Oh, yeah.
if it didn't come out, you were in big trouble.
Well,
You had a spare one on the front and your big one's on the back.
right.
All right, so parachuting was invented about the 1936 over in Russia. And Russia did a lot before World War II, and then all of a sudden Russia hardly did any at all. Germany did it in World War II, land on one of the islands out in near Greece, and they had a lot of problems with it, so they quit parachuting. But the United States parachuted a lot in World War II. They used those round parachutes like that, and at D-Day, 4 days, the round D-Day, we had 50,000 parachuters on June 6th, around that day. So parachuting is a big deal in World War II. It became less popular during Vietnam because the helicopters became more popular. But tell us some of your experiences being a parachuter there, Ronnie. How many times you go down? 100? Did you have any close calls?
No, I never did.
Never close
No.
call. And when
I
you
was
pull
scared
your,
to death when I had to jump my own chute though.
because they usually had a push, a thing that would start your
Automatic
chute.
opening, yeah.
That's your first 10, and then all of a sudden you had to do your own, right?
No, and when you're in the Army, it's always static line,
Always.
always.
Well, when you pull your own?
When I went into free falling after I got out of service,
Oh, I see. Yeah.
yeah.
So
That-
they always had the static line. Now, they drop you from about 5 or 10,000 feet. And what kind of plane? Different ones?
The closest they told us we could get to the ground was like 800 feet.
You had to have it
But-
pulled by then.
But normally we would jump at 1,500.
And then you'd free fall for about 1,000 feet. That'd be about 10 seconds.
Well, if you're free falling, you go up 10,000 feet
Yeah,
or better.
yeah, yeah.
You know, you go on up.
And then after 10,000,
You
that's a
fall.
free fall. But a lot of them you drop from 1,500. You jump out the back of the plane or the side, like with C-147 or C-47s?
Well, normally in service, you're jumping out the side.
Uh-huh.
Unless you got lucky enough to go out the back end of a, like C-130,
Yeah.
you know.
But that opened up the back.
Or like a helicopter,
Yeah.
you know.
Now, did you go anywhere in service? Where were you stationed there, Ronnie?
I went from Leonard Wood to Fort Campbell, then I went to Fort Bragg.
Is that over in North Carolina?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went there, then we went over to France, got to see overseas some of it, you know, and this and that, and then we come back, we went to 101st, and then I got out
So you got out about 61,
somewhere in that area.
and you got out at Fort Campbell.
Yeah.
And
The
then
only
you,
reason I wouldn't re-up, they come out and they give a bunch of the older men a test to see if they could pass this test, and I had a master sergeant, had 19 years and 6 months getting ready to retire, and they kicked him out. Because he
And he-
couldn't pass this test.
so he didn't become a lifer. He lost all his
Never got-
pension.
he
Lost his pension
everything.
for 19 and a half years. And you saw him do that to somebody. So you said, "I'm out of
I
Dodge."
said, I'm out, that's it. No, you won't get me to re-up.
Yeah. But they'd offered you things because you must have been pretty good. So you got out of the service, and then you went to Evansville. And what'd you do in Evansville? You've been here the rest of your life. What'd you do? Have these kids?
Well, that too, yeah. But
Where'd
I
you
got-
find your wife? She at Memorial or is she somewhere else?
I met my wife at the farmer's daughter.
The which one?
Drive-in,
The
down
one
on Main Street.
on Main Street. Huh.
I met her there, and then when I met her again at the drive-in out on the east side.
Farmer's daughter? Yeah, there was one out there. Yeah, back by Division by the car lots now.
Yeah,
And you met her and then you got married at St. Boniface?
we got married at Sacred Heart.
Sacred Heart. Who married you, Dr. Father Daywig?
Yeah,
Daywig, okay. He was big priest there forever. That was her church and yours was Boniface.
yeah. Well, no, I was at St. Ben's by then.
Were you, because you moved east side?
Mom and Dad moved east side.
And then what'd you do during your life? Did you have a job?
Oh, yeah, I
What'd
had
you-
a job, all right.
What'd you do?
I started out as a baker, working with my dad. Then I went-
B-A-K-E or banker? Banker or baker?
Baker.
What's the name of the place you worked at?
at Hartford Bakery.
Where was that?
I was down there on Fulton Avenue.
Fulton and Lloyd, right there at the corner, or Fulton and what? By Lewis Bakery?
Yeah, where Lewis Bakery is now.
That was yours before?
That was Hartford Bakery.
And that's where you worked and then became Lewis Bakery?
Then it became Bunny Bread.
I see, yeah.
You know.
What's that saying? No, none better than Bunny Bread, Bunny Bread.
Then I left there and went to Colonial Bakery on the east side.
By the Flitners, so the Flitners had some of that,
there
right by
across from
Rosedale.
Leroy's Tavern. Leroy's and Harpo's and that.
Yeah, over there, yeah.
Right.
Leroy's is the green one down. My uncle worked there, and Harpo's right there. And then you had Cater's shoe store, and then you had
The
a guy
Ross
that made
Theater.
Ross,
and
yeah,
all
yeah. And then a guy worked down the block named
Not Ross, but
that was the Rosedale Theater.
Rosedale Theater.
And then there was another donut bank down the road, but you knew to bake, so you could bake bread, donuts, whatever you needed.
Yeah.
You had to get up 3 in the morning and do that. I wouldn't do that. My God.
Well, that's what Dad wanted me to do. You
Yeah.
know,
And you did that all your life?
nope.
Wouldn't you?
When I got married, and after I worked there at Colonial Bakery, my wife's dad come out and asked me if I wanted to be a sheet metal worker one day.
For Bippus?
And I said, well, what is it? I said, I don't even know what. And he told me what about, and I said, yep, I'm gonna quit and go be a sheet metal worker.
Who'd you work for? Cook?
I worked for Evansville Sheet Metal.
Haven't you, man? Yeah.
Under Bipp was my,
You knew Oscar Bippus. He was a World War II
Mike
veteran, and the school is named after him. I interviewed him a long time ago. He was over in World War II, and he'd fix those airplanes because he knew how to do sheet metal and when he was in the war. And those airplanes get broken, he'd fix them. But Oscar Bippus is one of the famous guys that helped teach sheet metal. So he tried to talk you.
yeah, he was real good. He
Yeah.
taught me a lot.
Yeah, he was a heck of a man. Unbelievable.
I worked under Oscar, probably 8 or 9 years.
You know, he was the king, so you got a good training. Then where'd you go?
Well, after I went there, I went over to industrial contractors and worked there for a while.
Yeah,
Then I started traveling all over the United States.
for industrial,
No,
just on your
out of
own,
the local.
local, out of the local, and you go
Yeah.
anywhere, and then you live there for a week or two, or a month, and then
Um,
6
I
months.
tied up with a company out of Pennsylvania
Yeah,
and ended up becoming a supervisor.
Yeah.
And I went wherever they sent me. The last 2 years I spent in St. Louis.
did the army training help you something and all that, or
Oh,
no?
yeah.
Yeah, discipline. How many kids you have? Is your wife still living?
Yeah, she's still living. I got 6 kids,
6 of them.
6 of them, 4
3
girls and 2 boys.
Yeah.
You know.
What do you think these young kids need to know about the service and about our freedom?
I think they ought to bring the draft back. Make these young kids learn what discipline and respect and everything is.
Have you written a letter to your congressman on that?
It don't do much good, it don't seem like.
Yeah, well, I totally agree with you. Do you think they understand how nice our freedom is and how
No.
nice a country we got? What do you think would help them understand that?
Schooling first.
Yeah,
High schools don't teach them nothing no more.
yeah.
You don't have no crafts or no home economics or nothing anymore. I don't know what they teach them in high school.
Well, you better go tell them that too. What?
You know, what do they teach them?
Yeah, I don't know.
They
Ron, I
can't-
can't tell you all
They
that.
can't make change
Yeah, no.
without a computer.
Oh, you're right. You go to McDonald's and that if you give the wrong change, boy, it's trouble.
Oh,
They can't count that, buddy. Well, I think this is great. You're going on this honor flight. Your daughter's going to love it. I went on many years ago. You'll see a lot of big things there. Very interesting, our whole country. But I thank you for your service. Thank you for this interview. And you come out and visit us. That was a wartime museum. We're right by the airport. We're open 5 days a week. And I think you'd learn a lot. You need to bring your grandkids out so they hear it from you. We have simulators out there to teach people how to fly. We also have a great archives. We got 13,000 items in our archive department. And that means any memorabilia you have from your dad or yourself, we need to bring out there unless you're going to throw it away or give it to your kids. Okay, well, thank you very much, Ron. Appreciate it.